What's good, everybody? You're now in the mix. It's your big dog Kid 6 Shot Town's finest, Carlton, your dig, and your girl Leah, aka the therapist. This is episode 110. Okay. And as you can see, we got the drinks flowing right now because this is a wind down. So this is the first wind down of the new year.
This is the first wind down of the new year, and this is a wind down personal to me.
Okay.
Even though sometimes I put myself on the chopping block, so.
Chopping block.
All right.
Yeah, so therapists don't always got the answers, so I'm looking to Streets University to help me out with this one.
I got you.
I know.
Reaching back to the street.
Oh, wait, matter of fact.
Back to the
Oh, you
streets.
want to. Because I always want to dog the streets. Now she wants.
They always
The
come running back to
streets.
the streets.
Always.
And the people.
Always.
Which are
They always come running back to the streets.
Always, you know.
You try to invalidate our credentials.
Now look at you needing us.
It's okay. We
Just for today.
We for the people.
okay.
So
You cannot live with your failures. And where did that lead you?
This one,
Hey,
you guys,
Hey,
but this one, y'all, this is a sad wind down for me. So.
Damn, you against all right, bet.
Okay.
So we got you. We're gonna turn that frown upside down.
Turn that frown
I
around.
don't know. We're gonna see how y'all will navigate this situation because
Got
I'm
you.
really at a loss.
We got you. Listen, y'all. So on this week, you know, of course, y'all usually know me as Ike Love, but this week I'm known as Quantrell. All right, with one L. Okay. And if you guys are wondering why the name changed, so you know, somebody just so happened to make a profile using one of my pics.
How did you find this out?
So I was just like checking on my story because we having like these random ass bots. IG need to fix these bots too. Y'all be getting them bots with like the little
You going
sexual
crazy.
shits. Yeah, I be getting them
Twitter
all the
too.
time. Yeah,
Follow me
Twitter.
a lot on Twitter.
Yeah, and so I'm scrolling and I'm like, how am I watching my own story right now? Like, I ain't got no other profile aside from the In the Mix one. So I said, what the hell is this? So I went and looked, and then all I could really do is just laugh because I'm like, one, I don't even look like my name would be Quantrell. Like, that's insane.
Quantrell.
Like,
You could be a Quantrell. Let's go with that.
He would be Q. He would go by Q.
yeah, I
Do you
would.
look like a Julian?
I do.
How does a Julian look like?
Me. What question is that? You don't look like an Aaliyah.
What does an Aaliyah look like? Don't say not you.
Yeah, it's definitely not you.
Do you like a Carlton? No, this sounds dumb.
Nah.
Who looks like their name?
I look like a Quantrell.
You look like what's somebody with like an like who's annoying?
What?
I would say
I look like my name.
nah. Your name, honestly, you really look
Jennifer.
I look
like
like
she
Jennifer.
or like maybe
Like a Megan or something.
Brittany.
I don't know. No, definitely.
Now, see.
Right. Oh, I'm
Give
not
too
entertaining
much
this
credit.
conversation. I'm not entertaining this conversation. Aaron, do you like an Aaron?
Aaron looks like an Aaron.
She look like an Aaron.
Do you like a Carlton?
I look like a
So what does a Aaliyah look like?
Nickname.
You know what? R.I.P. The most beautiful.
Oh, that's my favorite.
Yeah, that's what an Aaliyah looks like.
Well, what Aaliyah means is niece. You actually look up the. I have a whole beautiful name, by the way. I think it fits me perfectly. My first, middle, and last name. Thank you.
You spell your name different than the singer though.
Oh, this now. I do spell my name. I actually spell. Well, I think there's all different spellings.
So you
But-
couldn't sing her song back in the day.
I did. She was my favorite singer.
You knew the words.
L-I-Y-A-H.
What?
Don't.
Mixers, all right. So Mixers, yo, check it right. So she dropped the video for us, right? She dropped the video, but of course, so we're always asking her just to spit a verse, right? Because she swears she's a Nas stan, but we're trying to understand how you're a Nas stan, but you cannot recite a verse on your
Okay,
own
but I did it though. Thank you.
with Nas playing in the background.
It
But
doesn't
and you know
matter.
what? And I had
could've
to
did
give.
it.
Could you?
Yes.
So do
But I
it
need
right now.
y'all to. We're not doing it right now.
Why
But
not?
No, because I need to know. Y'all need to know the reference. That's why I did it with the. First of all, if you know I know the lyrics word for word, I could do it without him.
I
So
know the
do-
reference.
Well, you know the reference.
So do it.
We don't have time for that. We gotta get on
We
to
got
the song.
time.
No, we don't. Let's
We
go.
got-
That's
we
a
got
whole
time.
2-minute verse. Let's go.
No, give us 30
No,
seconds.
we're not doing that.
Come on, 30 seconds. 15.
It was in the video, guys.
Damn.
So
She can't
they
even-
saw it.
She can't even give us
So I
15
did it.
seconds.
I did it. A shout out to me.
Alright.
Thanks.
Shout out to you.
Thanks.
You gonna leave me hanging?
Yeah, because you gave me credit when
You-
credit was due.
Yeah, all I'm gonna say is you don't never leave somebody named Quantrell hanging. So
Hey.
Yeah.
We don't know what that means. When this Quantrell involved, we don't know what's about to happen.
Hey, you don't even know. But listen, we do know what did happen in the media, of course. So, Lakers took on the Memphis Grizzlies Friday, right? And then, of course, we also got to talk about Ed Reed not even making it through his probationary period at Bethune-Cookman. But before we do any of that, man, shout out to our sponsors. Rich King brand, as you can see what I'm rocking right now with the hoodie, of course, the Good Fresh hoodie. And then, of course, man, shout out to Wine O'Clock as well, man. Always holding it down. We love supporting the black-owned businesses. Make sure y'all check them out, especially Rich King brand, man. Like, when I tell you that the heat that they've been dropping, see,
It's more to come.
it is.
It's more to come.
That's all we can say, man. That's all we can say.
It's more to come.
But we're going to jump right into it. We're going to give you a quick little recap on what's been going on, and then we got to dive in and help our soul sister out right now because she's a little down bad. But it's cool because she came to the streets, all right? They always want to come to the streets when shit ain't right, and we got it. So, we got to talk. So, we got to talk about, we have to dive in with Shannon, all right?
Shannon
Our
Sharp.
aunt, okay? We only have two uncles, all right? That's Snoop
That's Snoop, yeah.
and Shannon. Diddy, I don't know whose uncle that is or Aaron's, but ain't nobody claiming that nigga is uncle. But Aaron. Alright?
That's a fact.
But we gotta talk about that. So the game, the Lakers did win. They beat Memphis. Alright.
I hear there's a tension between these two teams.
It's tension because, they doing a lot of talking, right? Which is so crazy to me because the teams that do the most talking that have not accomplished much are the Phoenix Suns and the Memphis Grizzlies. Now I understand when you feel confident and that confidence is just kind of like, yeah, we like that. And y'all are a nice team, a nice young team, but you have not accomplished anything. Have not made it to the finals. Y'all might be one or two pieces away from making it, but do not let that ego get to your head
Ego.
because it'll kill you badly.
They
all right?
look, we confident. That's what
And
it
of course,
is.
it's because of they're going against LeBron. I mean, he's in year 20. Like, I mean, talk to him like that. When he was in year 10, year 15 or so.
Most of them weren't even playing though.
Exactly, they wasn't even playing. So it's just kind of like you got a man who's in year 20 and he's still putting up crazy numbers to be in year 20 in the league. And probably maybe he has like a good 3-4 years left in him. To be honest with you,
Could.
um,
They got a lot of confidence though.
they
You
do.
can respect their confidence only to the extent that they don't write a check they ass can't cash.
That is a whole
That
fact.
has happened a few times.
That is a whole fact, man. So Shannon Sharp's been in the building and
Sure.
he's been courtside. So this game around, he was courtside, and Unc was on that yak. He was on that yak.
Yeah, I know he was off there, yeah.
And he also had on a $3,000 cardigan. Now, our good sister Erin needs
Spicy.
to make something, ASAP.
And if you make one of those, I'm waiting to the game and I'm starting to fight.
Nah, real talk. Aaron, if you make something like that, I might have to be on the yak just cause.
Listen, if you start a fight, everybody gonna see the cardigan. Next thing you know, she blowing up.
Aaron,
You should just make one.
hold it down, Aaron. Listen, So Effing Classy gonna have some cardigans coming out soon. All right.
She is. She got everything else.
That's what exactly. I just don't understand it.
We got follower. Y'all see.
I'm trying to think. What we even call it? I'm gonna think of a name for it though. But anyway, Unc was about to get into it with the entire Memphis Grizzlies
He started with one.
roster.
There was one first. What's the name? Dylan Brooks. Did I say
Dylan
that?
Brooks.
I
All right.
don't know.
His ass was dressed like Triple H.
Yeah,
SummerSlam when he came out there to fight Shawn Michaels.
And it started with him, and then the team came over, Steven Adams, and then the rest of the Memphis Grizzlies, and then of course Ja Morant's father, T. Morant, came over as well. Now, it was funny in the moment. It was very, very entertaining, right? And shout out to Unc too. He also issued an apology as well, and
He
just
did. He took
acknowledging his part and what he did wrong and how to represent himself. So shout out to you. And Skip, take a note. I hope you took notes from that apology. But I really feel as though he did not owe an apology.
All right, that's how Skip felt. At least he stood in his stuff. He wasn't like Stephen A. Smith backtracking with the whole Rihanna thing.
I ain't gonna front it. Man, Stephen A. is a cornball.
I give Skip that though, even though we don't agree with him. He's standing his stuff.
I don't like it. But,
Sometimes
Dylan.
you need to backtrack though.
Facts.
I agree, but I'm just saying, in his case, he like, nah, he felt like he wasn't wrong. But go ahead.
So in this case, Dylan Brooks decided to say that Shannon Sharpe, Hall of Famer, all right, 3-time Super Bowl champ, 2 with the Denver Broncos, 1 with the Baltimore Ravens. One of the greatest tight ends in the league, referred to this man as a regular pedestrian. Dylan Brooks, by the time your career ends, please have a list of your accomplishments compared to what Shannon did, and then we will talk about regular pedestrian. If you're not even Hall of Fame discussion by the time your career is coming to an end, bro.
He didn't even say person. He also said pedestrian.
He probably can't even spell it. But it's crazy to me. But yeah, so that was very entertaining. What was y'all take on that?
Hey, first of all, Shannon Sharpe take his job seriously.
Yeah.
That man said, listen, I'm a LeBron fan. God damn it, I'm going to come to the game and talk crazy to the other team when they're going to fight. Dylan Brooks is funny, though, for dressing like Shawn Michaels, though, when he was going to fight Triple H in SummerSlam back in, 2002. He's very funny for that. He called him a regular pedestrian. We know he's not a regular pedestrian, but only in the means to which it's relevant, I guess. In a situation like that, he's just, a guy on the sidelines. We know who he is.
Mm-hmm.
We know what he's done. We know why we know all about him. He probably, in a situation like that, I don't think Dylan Brooks cared. I don't think he should have cared either. I do think that it was kind of dragged out just because if you listen to Dylan Brooks' interview when he said what Shannon Sharpe said to him, it happens all the time. People that courtside, they say stuff to the players say stuff back and they keep it pushing.
Right.
I don't know why.
It escalated?
Well, actually, I do know why it escalated. Because, Dylan Brooks was walking away. Shannon Sharpe stood up and was on the court saying whatever. He was off that yak, so he probably was just, And then everybody else came over there. Steven Adams, now that would have been like Godzilla versus King Kong. Steven Adams versus Shannon Sharpe.
You got your money on.
I ain't gonna lie. I don't know. Because I do feel like Shannon Sharpe is like Goliath. That man is really, really in shape. But I feel like Steven Adams is the type of person that hunts for his food. Like he probably eat animals with his bare hands and eat them shit. It'd be a wild. That'd be a hell of a situation.
Man,
Shannon wasn't scared of him either.
Absolutely.
at all. He definitely wasn't.
Like me
He
going
wasn't.
around.
He wasn't scared of Shay either though.
Yeah.
Shannon got a classic picture now, floating all over the internet.
Listen, I ain't going
That's
front.
a good meme to have though.
It
Yeah,
is. Some
definitely
people
is.
change it to their
You gonna
profile
have a
pictures,
meme.
like.
I turned my Twitter
So
profile
I
pic
see
to
a lot
that.
of people do it. They say it had some he made a rap album, what the titles would be.
Mhm.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that would have been a wild ass fight.
But no, he
you-
apologized. He apologized
Yeah,
to
yeah.
everybody involved, the Lakers organization, the
Mhm.
Grizzlies, his family.
I think if anyone needs to take note on how to apologize and address something, take a page out of Shannon. Right before the commercial break, he issued that apology, and it was damn near 3 minutes, but you could tell the sincerity behind it, and he was very genuine, and it was just kind of that's not me, that's not my character. And
Well, he did say that was him, but he just thought
yeah. That is, when you got a little yak in your system, I get it. I get it. That yak can do a little something.
Oh no, things get crazy sometimes, but when you accept your role in situations,
Mhm.
do the
It's
right
like
thing.
two sides to that for me though. It's the one side where I know that's who he is. Like him apologizing is because that's just the kind of person he is.
Mhm,
I'm
yeah.
gonna do that. I do also feel like there might have been some pressure from the network. to make sure that he apologized.
Mhm.
And I feel like that same pressure wasn't there for his counterpart not too long ago.
That's a good point.
You know what I'm saying?
That is a good point. But do you? I don't know. For me, I feel as though like even if the network didn't say anything, I think honestly like Shannon really would have still apologized.
I believe that too. I believe that too.
But they, like you said, that is a great point.
Just off the strength that like he didn't have to make a long speech about the speech.
Yeah, he definitely did.
Whatever, and I feel like they gave him that platform because it's like, yeah, go ahead, like go do that because you could have fucked around and made us look bad, but they didn't have that same type of energy.
Right.
Skip. That was an album cover.
Definitely.
They said his album would be called No Skips.
They definitely did say that.
That's a fire album cover.
Yo, that joint is tough. I don't think like LeBron really has a lot of respect for Shannon. Like he respects the fact that like he rides for him. I personally do not think Tom Brady would do the same thing for Skip Bayless. You know, like I just don't.
Did y'all see? This is so sidebar, but did y'all see his video Skip when he threw the jersey in the trash can? Like he's so corny. I might have to flip flop between me and Leah Bayless because I seen that and was like,
I'm not gonna. I know his wife cheated on him. I know she did, bro. Like, ain't no way she was faithful to this man their entire marriage. Like,
she probably recorded it though. It looked like the phone like it was propped up.
No, I think she recorded that shit.
Alright, that's what I said.
Her name Ernestine.
She did, because we seen him in the background waiting. Like, she like, and actually background there. Like, now I'm just wondering how many takes it, like that was like the 5th take.
Nah, for real. He did his little stupid ass.
I didn't slam it in the garbage hard enough. Do it again.
Yeah, like he just.
He looked so dopey. Like
I know
she ain't cheating on him because she was recording him, so they doing it together.
That's cool. Like, look, she helping, but she getting hers on the side. She like, look, I can't take this motherfucker no more. I'm gonna stay in this marriage, but I'm still gonna do me.
He's a character. Let me
He
tell you.
really is. He definitely is, man. But you know, shout out to the Lakers, man, and shout out to you know, we gonna rock with you, man. You that respect. If I was there at the game with you, I'd have had your back too. So we'd all been riding. Memphis ain't like that.
Was you gonna have Uncle Shea back or LeBron back?
Uncle Shea. Uncle Shea.
They have each other back, so I guess if you have Shea back, you have LeBron back. And
It's
they rock with each
it's
other.
consequential.
If because LeBron wasn't about to fight, Unc was.
Oh yeah.
So you know, I got Unc's back just because Unc about to fight. You know, I think if there was let me ask y'all this, right? Y'all saw how like who is a player that you would ride for?
I don't know.
The way Unc did, for like the way Unc rides for LeBron. See, I feel like your person would definitely be MJ.
Yeah.
But that'd be just a
I
player.
I wasn't even gonna say. I was gonna say a current player.
Oh, okay. Who currently?
I was gonna say Kyrie.
Okay. All right.
That player I rock for.
All right. All right. So I'm gonna go back in the day. It would definitely be Kobe. If Kobe was still out there, I'd ride for him. But current player, I would.
Y'all really about to get up in jail and go to jail for some player that they got?
Unc ain't go to jail.
No, I'm just saying if it came down to one, people.
We not going to jail.
How you know?
I can't go to jail. We ain't go to jail.
Facts. So current player, I would have to say.
If he ain't, we ain't.
Right. In the league today. Damn, that's tough. That's a tough one, honestly. Man.
You see, you gotta think about it too hard. You should
I don't have nobody in the NBA that I would ride for like that.
What about
Yeah,
NFL?
NFL. I don't know. Today's leagues is just soft, man. So I don't know. Like it's just
fan.
huh?
It's okay. You're not a super fan of somebody.
Yeah, I'm not. Like the super fan, RIP Mamba.
Mm-hmm.
That's who I would ride for. Yeah, I don't have anybody today. I don't. What about you?
You don't have a player.
You don't have one?
No.
Even in the back in the day?
No.
Damn. That's
But
right.
I rock for mine.
All right, I was about to say, would you be ready to square up for Nas?
I would.
You know that.
I'll ride for him.
Like you pulling your pants up, you got to pull your pants up if you were really ready to square up with somebody.
Who else would I ride for? All right, he's kind of like the obvious. Who else would I ride for? I have to think about that outside of like him.
Okay, I know.
It would gotta be like if you're a super fan of somebody. Cause we were just talking about this in the group chat. Like,
Yeah.
like you know how Skip is a super Tom.
Mhm.
I'm a super Nas fan. Like, we're
Yeah.
not super fans though.
Okay.
Do you ever see like a rapper, like artist, whoever?
Rapper.
Aaliyah was my R&B. That's who I was a super fan of.
Okay, that's a good pick. That's a good
Or
pick.
like female.
Sade for me, R&B.
Super fan?
Yeah, I love Sade. Her music is amazing.
We're like, this is like me. I have Aaliyah like memorabilia. I had her picture on my binder. Like that's like super fan.
Did you like erase some of the letters out of her name so that it could be spelled the same as yours?
No.
I was making sure.
No. I loved her name. How it's
Write it out.
spelled.
Right.
A-A-L-I-Y. Did you sing that part of the song?
I sang everything. I loved her. That's the one artist I wish I could meet in person.
Okay.
Did you spell your own name or you spell hers?
Boy, I
What she
spelled
say?
my own name.
So she was like, oh, it's the L-I-Y.
No, I mean her name.
Nah, you already said you spelled your own name. You can't take it back.
Her name.
Hey,
Her
yo,
name.
I'm weak. And then rapper wise, Lil Wayne, because I feel like when these young folks be trying to compare, like I seen something where they was trying to compare Prime Wayne and Lil Baby today, and I'm like, bro,
Can't compare.
I hate today's generation. I
Shout out.
truly
I was
do.
gonna say Drake, but maybe
Shout out
I'm
to
super
David.
fan of Drake.
Nah, I'm a super fan of Drake, but he be doing some corny shit too. It's just like, bro, he's annoying sometimes.
He's
But
a
that's my
groupie.
guy. That's
He's a
my guy.
groupie. Actually calling people groupie, but it'd be like that sometimes.
But man, moving on, because we definitely got to touch on some, HBCU topic of discussion. Of course, Ed Reed had been fired from Bethune-Cookman.
Was he actually fired? Or he actually wasn't hired, so he wasn't. You can't be fired for something you didn't get.
That's true. That's true.
So you no longer
They
they withdrew.
Yeah, they withdrew the head coaching
The contract.
contract
Okay.
because he took to social media and discussed all the negatives that he saw, around the facilities, the campus in general. They didn't take too keen to that, right?
Mhm.
So now the students of Bethune-Cookman are protesting.
Where's the school located?
Bethune-Cookman. Don't get me lying. I know it's somewhere down south. I want to say it might be, it might be somewhere in Florida.
Yeah, maybe.
Daytona Beach.
Daytona. Okay, all right. I know it's somewhere in Florida. So, now that's circulating, and it's kind of like everyone's like, damn.
Yeah, there
Reed
was
was trying to tell us this, and a lot of pictures are floating around.
But some people say the way he went about it was wrong.
What possible right way is there? I think we are so sensitive to how something is presented, regardless of how you present it.
Some people said he should have his concerns he should have took up with the president. But I hear people do this all the time and nothing changes. The school was just embarrassed. That's just what it was. They were embarrassed, and
How do you think the students feel when they go there? It's embarrassing for them. Like they have to sleep there.
I know I've seen some of those pictures.
And
It's
again, this
horrible
is
conditions.
Yeah, like it's so much. I feel I have I'm an HBCU alum. You're an HBCU alum, but it's kind of like the truth hurts sometimes. But it's a lot of schools that are messed up. Bethune-Cookman is one of those schools. Like there are a lot of schools who lack funding. They don't when they mention it, it's kind of like, oh, that's not the best way to go about it. What other ways to go about it? There are a number of HBCUs out here, and you see the same schools over and over again getting funding. Howard, Clark, Spelman, Morehouse. You would think those are the only 4 HBCUs out there in the world. There are a lot of schools that actually need funding for facilities.
I also feel like too maybe they probably could be receiving some sort of funding, but it may not, be out there. So if they are receiving this funding, what is happening? Like where's this money going exactly?
Well, that's a great question because you always wonder where the money is going. As many times as Howard's been funded, and the students
Because they
had to
still complain
protest.
about their conditions too.
Yeah,
We have
so
no
it's just
money
kinda like,
going in,
what
so
are
we're not
y'all
gonna say
doing?
they're not getting money.
I mean, we know
are.
what y'all doing. Y'all definitely just, scamming that bread. We know what's up. We know what's
So
up.
maybe, okay, was it the most professional way to go about the point? No. But perhaps he felt like sometimes you gotta take extreme measures to get the point across.
It could
So I
also
see
be
both sides.
it could also be frustrating too, because him being a black man, and it's just kind of like, this is how we are like, this is the conditions that we are in.
Maybe you could have had a proper meeting. He had to blast it like that on social media because they are really like, dang, like we cannot hire you now. We gotta withdraw your contract now. You didn't play this, so.
Now listen, let me tell you this, right? If he didn't say anything, and then a couple weeks later, these kids are protesting, what you gonna do? Kick the students out for protesting?
But the students have they been protesting?
They're-
But now
that's
all
what I'm
this
saying.
came
Now
out,
they
but
are,
before,
yeah.
prior to it, so they blew the spot up.
Exactly. They was probably trying to keep it under wraps.
I mean, shit, the students could have been doing what they was doing. We wouldn't know. That shit is in Florida.
Right.
But him doing what he did brought light to it.
About awareness.
It
How you feel about it?
More awareness to it. I do understand the school being like, there could have been a more proper way to do it. Just because most institutions, not even say institutions, not even just institutions, but it could be a company in general. Employers, you talking crazy about them and you work for them. First thing they're gonna do is
Oh, potentially.
Yeah, potentially, because he was locked in to be their coach.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, he
they
just
had
make
it
it through his
started.
probationary
Yeah,
period.
He really did.
Yeah, but so I can understand that too. But he's just upset because he like, yo, this is all some bullshit. Because the stuff that I'm saying, it's like y'all brought me here to do this job, and then when I got here, I'm looking at stuff that's like just as important, or like this stuff could potentially hinder me from doing my job the right way. What the hell is going on? And then he could have been trying to find out what was really happening and found some shady stuff and was blasting it, which of course that's a bad look for the school, but also it's the truth. So two things.
Do y'all think that
those
will
two true.
block his ability to get unemployment
No.
elsewhere? I don't think so either.
No.
And I think at that point, I think he probably was just like, I don't
Whether
care
it's
what
at
happens.
whether it's at a HBCU or a PWI Power 5 university, he will get a job.
But I hope that this now that there's some awareness to this, as it has been before, we need to do something about this, right? Because I feel like this is another story that we hear about these HBCUs, brings awareness, and then like what happens after that would be the same thing. So where do we go from this? So we don't have situations like this happen in the future.
I mean,
that's another story in itself.
I know,
Yeah,
like that's
yeah,
something
yeah,
we can't talk about, but I
it's a
just
typical
it's
agency
just the
story.
same story over.
This deeper than him complaining about stuff,
right.
because it's
Definitely
still a
is.
state institution.
But the
It
conditions
goes
are
beyond.
horrible though. They
You're
need to-
right. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Stuff like
okay.
that goes beyond who's donating to the school. That's not it's not the donor's responsibility.
Right.
That's why I'm like, I can see how they probably was looking at him like, bro, you blaming this shit on us and donated. Like it's a little bit deeper than that. But
Yeah.
It definitely makes you wonder, like, what y'all be doing with the money?
How would you guys have been about that situation if you were Every?
I mean, probably would. I ain't gonna lie. I probably would have did the same thing. I ain't gonna front because it's
No, I'm kidding.
because it could be frustrating at times because you want. It's just like when you look at these other Power 5 universities or whatever. Like you look at all of these big institutions that are taken care of, and then it's just like when it comes to us, we don't get that, and it's frustrating. So it's kind of like.
So it's the passion behind it.
Yeah, it's the passion behind it because it's just like why do we have to keep coming into a situation to where the situation is messed up? Like it's down bad. Why can't we come into a situation to where at least it's medium? It's not too bad, but it's not too great, but we can get it to where it can be great. We always just have to come to something that's messed up. Look at Prime Time. He came into Jackson State. Messed up, so it sucks.
Yeah.
That's
why I say stuff like that is not like we know how this country does HBCUs. You can't always just blame that completely on the school and people donating to the school because it's not always on them. Like a lot of this stuff, a few alumni donating millions is not gonna make the changes that they need.
Would you
That's
have went
why-
about it that way? See, or would you just have
I
a private
probably
meeting?
wouldn't. I probably wouldn't have. Even a private meeting could have done something. I don't even think a private meeting would have done what he would have needed, what he would have wanted to be done. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because I would have probably went about it in a different way, where me understanding that this is a bigger monster than just the school doing whatever they're doing with their funds or not getting enough funds from alumni and donors and stuff like that. Understanding that it's a bigger issue there, like as far as the state funding and stuff like that, because these other schools are funded by the state, like millions, hundreds of millions, and that's why they look that same. I would have at least brought more knowledge to that, and been like, you know, this kind of stuff is going on, and this is why.
Versus just the school.
Versus just me being like, oh, y'all niggas is mishandling whatever, because that's the type of shit that gets you fired.
Mm-hmm.
You know, for one, and that's the type of stuff that it could bring some kind of awareness for people that have been to HBCUs. We kind of know about this shit already.
Yeah.
You know? And then I don't know if that's exactly gonna strike the change that he is saying that needs to be. You know what I'm saying?
He could have at least waited till he signed the contract and then talk
Yeah.
shit.
No, but then even then, they can still, hey,
Yeah.
Maryland's at, well, not Maryland, we are at
Florida.
Florida State, but I'm not sure if Florida has the same law where regardless if we hire you, you get fired for any given reason, so that don't even matter. So, yeah. So I agree. I do agree that it probably wasn't the best way to go about it, but we understand why he did it.
Mm-hmm. How would you have handled it?
I wouldn't have did that. I wouldn't have blasted the plebe I'm trying to work for on social media. You guys don't do that. You got issues with your employers. Even if you work, don't do that.
Yeah,
But
it's common sense, but you know it's.
But it's, like C said, I think it's not only just the school, but just other people to have conversations with, or just decide that if that's not the job for you, you can always decline.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you feel like this is just not what you signed up for.
Yeah, that's good. That's very true. That's very true. But it's just kind of like, damn, if I turn this one down, and another HBCU, offers me a position, what am I coming into with that?
Yeah, you find out.
But
you see.
But I think
you
also,
sign the contract.
Yeah, but I also think too. I think those that might be in the same conditions that Bethune-Cookman are currently in, they probably won't reach out to them.
Yeah.
They scared.
He gonna come in and see the same conditions and say the same shit.
Right?
Like, damn.
Absolutely not.
It's
Like,
like,
you gonna put us on blast.
you on the market, but damn, we are fucked up. Let me call my wife's cousin and see if he still
That
trying
is
to take
so
that
terrible.
job.
No, yeah, so that's how I would have been about it.
Okay.
But shout out to every student, at least try to bring some sort of awareness to.
Nah, for real, man. Like the government, y'all need to really do better with HBCUs. The way y'all are handling us, like, do better, man. The conditions that a lot of HBCUs are in are not the best,
No.
and y'all know it, and y'all want to continue to ignore
Not the
it.
best is an understatement. It's
That's on
horrible.
purpose.
Yeah, extremely
Y'all
horrible.
already know my side. The 4 Maryland HBCUs just won a case about this same shit. So,
Okay.
So, man, it's just it's tough, man. It's definitely tough, but at some point, a change is going to come. When that change will come, I don't know, but I see it, in the foreseeable future for HBCUs to really get, the proper funding that's needed from the government, and to be in the conditions as other universities deserve.
Let's get it.
For real, man. But as we transition on into our wind down session, because we got to turn Ms. Leah's frown upside down.
Yeah, I've been frowning.
And it's our job as licensed therapists in this profession to do what we can. All right, because we are accredited. All right, I just need y'all to understand that.
Sorry.
What's funny over there?
Continue.
No, you need us, right?
Okay, go ahead. Speak
Anyway.
Accreditation. What accreditation?
Streets University.
Oh, okay, yeah. Where your accreditation?
You want to see the paperwork?
Right.
Did you ask for your PWI's accreditation?
I did. I need to know.
Not you did.
Not you.
Okay.
Stop playing. Stop playing with us, man.
You
That's
want
what
that
we do,
paperwork?
man. Listen, man, this is our wind down. I'll allow you to introduce the wind down session.
Oh, you're not going to introduce you. I mean, you did introduce yourself earlier, but you know
Yeah,
what we do.
man, I'll introduce myself again.
Aaron, you know
Man.
you gotta get your class.
I am Dr. Quantrell with one L. All right. My good brother.
Emilio Esteban Gonzalez. Nombre es Emilio Esteban Gonzalez.
Yo, am I bugging? I be feeling like his name changed. Like,
No, it's
it
the
be the
same
same one?
everyone now.
okay, all right,
Yeah.
bet.
It's the same everyone now.
And you know,
Este
so
es-
effing classy needs her. Needs her.
Este es un poco
No, it's
vino
not
tinto.
mixing.
It's the accent.
Yeah, it's the accent.
Good looks.
para mí.
Actually, this is
Yo bebo un vino tinto para mí.
Oh
okay.
man.
Well, you know, for every wind down, we always do a toast
Mm-hmm.
to something. And what are we toasting to? I mean, I guess to the new year. I mean,
Toast to the new year.
The first wind down of the year.
You know, toast to your happiness. You know, hopefully the streets, which we can, give you the answers that you need because this is what we are licensed to do. We are highly qualified.
All right. You know what? They
Highly
highly
recommended.
qualified.
Highly recommended. Don't forget, you came to us. We didn't come to you.
Oh.
My.
The fact that I have to bow down right now is crazy.
So, you know, cheers.
We're gonna toast to Leah bowing down.
Hell yeah. To the
This
streets.
has never happened. All right, y'all. So this is what I'm really facing right now. Is I'm gonna try to like summarize this whole entire situation.
Okay.
All right,
We got time.
we got time. Okay.
Actually, we have another client to do something. So.
Shut up.
Can we speed this up? The streets are
Excuse me,
calling.
I'm paying y'all. Y'all about to not get y'all fee.
Come on now, we the streets. We got paid up front.
Facts.
As a matter of fact, I'm about to not pay my copay.
Listen,
You don't let Quantrell.
I'm about to say the streets is a
What
little bit
am I
different.
gonna do with the 1L?
Oh, we gonna get the payment.
No, get the payment.
I'm trying to tell you.
We gonna get the payment.
So, all right. I have a male best friend. Well, right now, the status of our friendship, I have absolutely no idea. It's on pause.
Okay.
I've known him since elementary school, but we've actually been like friends for like 13 years now. And
Okay.
we talk about like every day or every other day. He doesn't live here, so the best way to, keep him like contact is through communication. So, I'm gonna spin it back to August. That's how far it's been. August, we had a break where we stopped talking, and prior to that the conversation we had, all right, we talk about everything, particularly about like our romantic lives, right? He knows situation with me, I know about him, and specifically in this last conversation, we just talked about an ex. I don't know what she was, ex. She stuck around. I pretty much was telling him I didn't really see it for him with her. Like, it seemed like she was just there, like, you just a safe guy. You're not the it guy, you're a safe guy. I think, ladies, y'all know what I'm talking about with a guy. He's not really it, but he's the person you just keep around till you find something better.
Comfortability.
Comfortability,
All right.
yeah,
Got
right?
it.
Which eventually happens. Which did
Interesting.
happen.
We had that session earlier with someone as well.
I'm about to go somewhere else, but you interrupted me.
Continue.
So, during that conversation, he just really wasn't himself. He was just being so like agitated and frustrated. And why you looking like that?
I'm listening. Continue.
I'm gonna have to look at Esteban real quick, cause we going too much over here.
Doctor.
Oh, it's doctor. It's gonna be a crazy wind down. All right. So, he was saying, did you just say that? Oh, you gotta take a sip to that. Y'all, I'm never coming here. Y'all have to go online and look for some new therapists. Y'all is trash.
We top 5 on our
You got 5 stars?
Yeah.
All right, for real. Okay.
Nah.
All right. So, y'all got me tripping. So pretty much I was like, with his responses, I was like, yo, this is not like you. Like, you just being mad rude. I didn't appreciate some of the things that you said, but he really wasn't acknowledging my feelings, which is so weird. Like, this is just not like him. I'm like, yo, you just having a bad day. Are you off? I don't know. So I was like, yo, I'm just gonna dip. But then I was like, yo, we better than this, right? Like we've never had anything like this. So it was very weird. So I came back and was like, all right, yo, we better than this. Like, what is going on with you? I'm trying to express to you how I feel, and you're not acknowledging how I feel. And y'all know how I am. When you don't acknowledge my feelings, like I feel really crappy, and I felt very crappy that night. But it was even worse because it's just out of his character. Still doing the same thing. So at this point, I was like, yo, maybe he's just not. I don't really know what's going on with you, so I'm gonna fall back. I told him have a good night. That was it. We didn't talk all day the next day because I was like, I just don't want to text him. Like, he's having a moment, so I'm just going to leave him be. The following day, he texted me. He was like, I'm going off the grid. I'll let you know when I'm back. No need to respond. Now, normal Aaliyah, because for those who know me, I ride for my loved ones. I'm in love with my loved ones. And I normally be like, yo, what's going on? What is this about? Like, what's the purpose of this? But I'm learning to, like, understand just because I'm ready to talk, somebody else may not be ready to talk, and I don't want to like push the boundaries because I'm infamous for doing that, and I've learned that people are not like they need their time. So I was like, all right, I just liked it, and I'm thinking like, all right, maybe this might go on for like a week or two. No, a whole month goes by. My birthday hits. Actually, that happened a month before my birthday, August 22nd in September. So you know I'm not big on my birthday, but I'm expecting a few people to hit me up. He's one of those people I'm expecting to hit me up. I didn't hear from him.
Now, he ain't hit you for your 4 years?
You're fired. Not come back.
That is a pretty significant birthday.
Right. You know, damn.
Both of y'all about to say the curse word. But so I was really in my feelings and I was really hurt about that. I'm like, Dad, at the end of the day, like I'm thinking in my head, maybe I upset him at this point.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going on, but I would at least thought you would have hit me for my birthday, even if you're not talking to me. Like, and a whole month went by. All right, but I didn't reach out. So all of October goes by, it's still nothing. It's 2 months now. End of November hits, it's 3 months. So I'm like, at this point, I'm battling with myself. I'm going back and forth. And I'm like, should I hit him? Should I not? He says something, I don't know. But at this point, it's 3 months. A lot can't happen in like 1 week, let alone 3 months.
Yeah,
right?
that's a fact.
So I'm like, at this point, I don't know what's going on with you, but I at least want you to know, hey, I'm thinking of you. I hope that you're okay. So that's why I reached out to him. I said, hey, I've been going back and forth with myself. Like, I don't know what's going on, but I just want you to know, like, that I'm thinking of you and I hope that you're okay. But he replies and he says, I've been going back and forth with myself too, but I'm just not ready to talk. Be well. That made me mad. I'm like, I'm just a random show straight. Like, be well. What are you talking about? So at this point, I'm like,
Streets
oh,
is dirty.
I know. So I was like, oh wow. So at this point, I'm thinking you're upset with me. So I'm like, yo, if you're upset with me, if you need a space for me, you could have communicated that. But to go months without saying anything, I thought that was so messed up. And I'm really disappointed because I didn't expect that from you. But it is what it is. I'll be here, pretty much. You be well too. He didn't respond. A month now. So this is a couple days before New Year's. So that's 4 months. He hit me. He was like, it's not that I was upset with you. It's just that at that period, I needed some time to not talk to anybody. And he went on to say, like, trying to figure out some feelings and whatever he's going through. And happy holidays. I hope you're well. So I'm like, nah, you ain't going to hit me a text and think that's going to be cool. I said, we need to have a conversation. So that's it. Well, I guess we'll talk on the phone. But I was in Florida at this time. I guess he knew that. He must have seen the status. So we didn't talk. I was in Florida.
No, I'm saying he wasn't.
No, he wasn't. But he figured, he was like, he waited because he had texted me a week later. He was like, oh, so we playing this like waiting game because I knew you were out of town, so I didn't want us to talk. And I'm like, well, yeah, I was actually waiting on you because I figured when you were ready to talk,
Like you said.
like I said, right.
Like you said.
We'll talk.
Yeah.
So this is a week and a half ago now, guys. So we're into current now. And we did talk, and pretty much he just said pretty
In
much
person?
the same. No, over the phone.
Okay.
So he pretty much just said the same thing. Like I was going through a really like dark space, and I realized that when I was being rude to you. Like he was like that was a red flag to me, knowing like, oh, this is Leah I'm being toward, like being like this. So I knew if I'm like this towards her, this is a bad sign. So he was like, I really had to like separate myself because if not, we wouldn't be talking now. Like we wouldn't be friends. I would just said some things that would have been really disrespectful and you know. But at this point, I'm still not really sure, like, what got you in this space. I'm like, what is happening? Like, is it the girlfriend thing? Like, I know she got a man now and everything, but I mean, it could just, whatever, it happens, right? But he's just, like, in life right now. He's just in a space of he's just not in a good space.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks my heart that he's there, but I'm thinking we just gonna, like, I'll be mad at you, I'm gonna cuss you out, because I still told him it was messed up. And I was like, yo, you had all this energy for this chick who was rejecting you, but you was willing to cut off your day ones. I wasn't really feeling that. Because he said it, like, it was to the point where I was okay losing my friend. I'm like, but you was around when she... Anyway, that bothered me. But
Love is a hell of a drug, I will say that.
Yeah, but over your day ones, I'm just like, that's...
It's
I get
reality.
it.
It's definitely the reality, you know?
But yeah, I mean, I figured we were going to get over it. But no, he was like, I'm really still not emotionally available, so I feel like our friendship can't be what it was. And that literally broke my heart. Like, I cried all night. I was so sad about it because I'm like, we don't talk about friendship breakups. Like, we talk about romantic breakups, but we don't have a conversation about when friends... And I feel like it's a breakup in our friendship because I'm like, I don't know how to navigate. I don't truly understand where you are, and I don't know how to navigate in this space with you. So I'm not talking to him, but we haven't talked since then because I'm like, I don't know where to go from here. Like, I didn't think the conversation was going to go this way. I didn't think he was going to say, I'm still not here, and I'm still not emotionally available, so therefore things can't be what it was in the end. I'm like, so I felt like you stole our friendship, and I didn't get a say in it, and I feel upset about it. I want to be understanding. The therapist in me. Oh, go ahead.
You feel like who stole your friendship?
He did,
Okay.
and I ain't get a say in that because the reality is I didn't do anything. I understand that he needs to be in his own space and find his own way, but I feel like that affects your loved ones. Like, and even with the birthday thing, he said he had tore his ACL and he had got surgery on the day of my birthday, which is like, okay, but I was still upset about that. Like, I had a whole car accident. You had this accident. We weren't talking, so nobody knows what happens. Like, you just don't go 4 months. That's ridiculous. So I was just mad and still upset, sad, like just confused. And I'm like, I just don't know where to go from here. So we haven't talked since then. And I'm like, I don't want him to think I'm not talking to him, but I don't know how to. In my life, my loved ones makes my life. I can't be in this isolated space. Like, he's in a space where he could just kind of like cut everybody off and be in his own world. I can't do that. So it's hard for me to meet him where he is because I'm like, I don't know what that's like, and I want to be here for you and I want to be supportive, but I also feel like it's going to be one-sided, and I can't do the one-sided thing because you can't be here for me emotionally the way things was. So I'm confused, guys. I don't know how to go about this situation, and I'm really sad about it because we have a special bond, but it's kind of like this void that's there, and it's like, but I feel helpless. So that's what's been going on since August to now.
Okay.
My good brother, would you like to start off first? Okay.
Let me pull a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
To that one.
Yeah.
I hear that pour. Anyway.
We definitely heard the pour.
So the first things that I want to acknowledge though is that at least there was some kind of accountability initially when he was just like, damn, if I know I'm being like this to you, then I must be shitty to other people too. That's one of the first steps to, you know, I guess healing, doing better or whatever. But then it just also sucks that he can be capable of that kind of accountability, but then still be like, yeah, you know, I'm still like this, and then kind of like forget it.
Yeah.
So somebody that was such a great friend to him, because then you talk about like hijacking the friendship. It's almost like if all of this is over, that girl.
Which I think, but he probably won't admit that because
he might not. But I mean, if that was like the initial thing that kind of broke the ice towards this whole thing that ended up happening since then of course it's gonna look like that from your POV too. And it just sucks because if that's really the case, it's just like, damn, like you gave a lot of power to that situation.
to someone who didn't even give you that same energy.
Yeah, and you didn't have to, and then you really letting it affect other people. You just like, yeah, I really want to just be alone from everybody. And people need people, you know, especially some of your greatest and closest friends.
I told him he need to talk to somebody. He want to, like, legitimately.
And that's the part that sucks too, because it's like you can't make him talk, even though you know that he needs somebody to talk to, especially if he's doing stuff like this to the people closest to him. That's not gonna make anything better.
Right.
Even if he is capable of being like, yeah, I know I was like this, so I'm gonna just, because after all of that, still being like, yeah, I'm still about to just isolate from everybody and just say.
And he's
whatever.
really okay with this. Like, he even told his own sister about the surgery. I'm like, yo, tell your sister, like, what is
Man.
wrong with you?
And to stuff like that, it's just one of them things that sucks because can't nobody make him do the stuff that we know he needs to do.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, I won't put anything definitive on it because I know when people going through storms don't last forever.
Definitive,
right.
like, I feel like my friendship is over because that's
Yeah.
like my brain.
Yeah. Because
I don't
again,
think so, but-
yeah, I don't think so either. It just sucks though because the way that you are is something that he has to take account for as well. Like you can't, and that's like one of the things about friendship. You're responsible in a lot of ways for like some things to do with your friends. Like you understand what he's going through, and you even allowing him the space to do whatever, and he's not giving that same kind of account for you. Because in the midst of him going through what he's going through, you are also losing a friend.
Right, and when I said the text is, he's like, I'm really hurt. He wants to say, I can tell. Like, what kind of response
That's
is
what-
that?
that's
Like,
what I'm
that is
saying.
like, I was so disappointed.
Whatever he's going through that got him acting like that, I don't see him acting like that forever. I do think that at some point he may realize, that this situation, that whatever he's going through in his own self, in his own mind, will get better. And as it starts to, he may start to try to maybe
Repair.
maybe repair, some of the, because I'm sure friendship with you is probably not the only one he fucked up in the midst of this.
Yeah.
And in that sense, of course it is completely to all of you guys' discretion if y'all even want to accept him back, because this is something that when people going through stuff, you got to realize you don't got to just take it out on, you don't got to let it affect other stuff.
And I said to him, I'm like, I don't want to be that person to be like, I can't accept you back, but it's like, am I walking on eggshells now? You gonna take a whole year off?
Yeah, if
I don't
this
know.
happens
Like,
again,
right, when this happens again, how do I know how to, again, to navigate this situation? Because this is new for me. We've never had anything like this. So I don't know what to say or do at this point. So I'm like, I'm leaving him alone. I'm like, I don't know.
It's the first time for everything. I didn't want to cut you off if you weren't finished or anything.
Well, shoot, let me just say one last thing too. I will say hopefully he gets through whatever he's going through. I hope that at the end of whatever he's going through, he realizes that stuff like this happens in life, because something similar, it doesn't got to be similar, it can just be something of the same caliber, can happen again later on in life. And he'll realize then that you shouldn't cut everybody off.
Yeah, like, it is, before you say this though, like with the girl situation, though, the sign's been there. I told him, like, yo, it ain't it. And I'll say this respectfully, like, you just safe. He was like, well, she not going anywhere, yeah, because you keep allowing her to come back. Like, she's gonna find her hip hop. Everybody knows the hip hop rapper. And she did. And I was like, damn, like, did you find that out? Because I'm like, oh, she got a home man now, and I told you this was gonna happen. I didn't want to be like, I told you so, but you kind of put yourself in that situation.
He never been to Streets University, has he?
You might need to bring him on so we can talk to him. I need to.
You might just,
But you know how people caught up in you, really, like you said, you really like somebody or love someone, you don't like to see the light, I guess. It's hard.
man,
We've all been there.
Quantrell, I don't know what time it is.
Thank you, my good brother. As I take this sip, again, ladies and gentlemen, this is Dr. Quantrell, 1L, and
This is a serious moment.
I'm being serious.
Okay.
So as I listened, right, I took a lot of notes. My good brother here made some very key points in this, and I think he's going through something a little deeper than just this woman. Or whatever he like, because if he's okay with blocking everyone out completely, like you mentioned, his own sister didn't even know he had surgery on his ACL. That could have also been something that mentally just destroyed
Well, he said that
him
he's
as well.
very active. He's always in the gym, so he did.
Yeah, and that and when you're so consistent with doing something and then you have to take downtime, that weighs a lot on your mental,
Alright,
right?
so only compound the issue because he was on his BS before the accident.
Okay, yeah. So
Okay.
before that, So I think for him, whatever that woman did,
Just not like him back. I mean, it happens.
it happens, but it's probably, again, like, truth hurts for a lot of people, especially when it comes to, like, you know, you didn't want to say I told you so, but it's one of those things where it was just kind of like you were hoping that the person who told you about it would be wrong. It's tough.
I thought he was embarrassed. That's why he didn't want to come back.
I'm pretty sure it's embarrassing as well, because if she moved on and then got married to somebody else, and then you're just sitting around and it's just like, feel miserable.
It's even
That
more
was-
embarrassing to allow him to sit fester. the way he's
Yeah,
doing.
and that was for him. That was probably his happiness, and even though he probably knew he wasn't her happiness, it was just kind of like, well, I know she's still gonna come around. And as you mentioned, she was safe. She was comfortable until somebody else. So by that time, she's already done losing her feelings. So it's just kind of like, it's easy for her to just dip and go into somebody else and be happy with that person. Love can really do emotional damage, mentally, physically, spiritually, no matter what. Like, you vacate the premises from friends, family, you name it. Your job, you're not doing your job well. You begin to get very lazy. You become jaded, you know, and it's very tough. I think for him, he probably could have been a little bit embarrassed. There's probably more to that as well.
Yeah, I'm sure it's just not only the girl, but I think it has a
probably-
big chunk of it.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, now I want to ask you this, right? Because you never really know. Sometimes they're like, you could have a best friend, but then that best friend may, because y'all know so much about each other, that best friend could possibly have feelings for you.
I mean,
You
I
never
said
really
this.
know.
I don't think so.
See, you don't think so, right? Now, Quantrell is going to share an example, right? Because when Quantrell was dating this one girl, right, she was telling me about her best friend and how he would catch an attitude with certain things. And it's just kind of like, I thought it was off-putting. I'm like, why would you get upset about that? I was like, yo, I think your best friend may have a crush on you. She said the same thing. Oh, I don't think so. He never looked at me like that. You would be surprised when you really open your eyes, when you kind of distance yourself from somebody and actually open your eyes up to something. I was like, I guarantee if you was to like just play with him and be like, hey, you know, I really had feelings for you this whole time, he would be open to it. He would be ecstatic. And something that happened, but he pretty much like admitted to her, like, hey, you know, I had feelings for you this whole time. And I was like, I told you.
Maybe you think it's the other way around. And I even explored that 'cause I'm trying to figure out everything that you could just that I could possibly think of to try to push somebody out like that. You know what I'm saying? So
Sometimes
like,
it might be difficult because it's just kind of like, it's one of them things where, and he's probably battling, what he's battling is trying to figure out, like, damn, everything that's happened with other women is just kind of like, Leah knows me the most. Leah
I feel
knows,
like I do.
you know, Leah knows how to handle situations with me. Leah knows how to do X, Y, and Z with me. Get me in a space that no other woman possibly, you know, was able to do so. And it's just kind of like, I'm battling that because if I was to admit to her, like, hey, you know, I have these feelings for you, how would that determine our friendship? Because what if she doesn't feel that way about me? Then that's another L I'm facing, right? Another thing is just like, he could probably just mentally be going through some other hardships that like he probably just has not communicated, probably a little embarrassed. And with what took place with the girl, it was just kind of like, that's just the icing on the cake right there.
I mean, that could be true.
But then I get, and then here's the thing, like I totally get
And
all
for
this.
men is difficult at times. It's kind of like, you don't mean to push people out, it just happens because we don't know how to like handle our emotions correctly that we need to, right? Because instead of allowing the loved ones to come in, sometimes we tend to push them out because it's just kind of like you want to figure things out on your own, but also probably not be a burden to others. But like, if for you, I'm pretty sure you made it very open for him to like come to you. Like, hey, if
Yeah,
you
like,
want
that's
to talk
all
about
shocked.
anything, sometimes it's just, you know, pride can get in the way of everything.
It just sucks. So I feel like it always seems to happen like this with me, and I don't know. It sucks because I don't know. I don't know how to. I hear all what y'all saying, and I get it, but it's like I feel left out in the cold, and I just think that regardless, this is just not the way.
The friendship isn't done.
But
I
it's
will
certainly
say that.
different.
It is going to be different, but when you really look at it, the ball will be in your court. If he's really like, if he was,
That's
to
what
come
he
back,
said. And I'm like, what? How's it in my court?
because when you really think about like how you feel, you're kind of just like you don't know if you want to allow him to come back in because you're thinking, well, y'all have never had this experience before. It's always the first time for everything. But also at the same time, he may have that time to explore what's actually been going on with him and be able to communicate that with you. And the ball will be in your court because it's either like, are you able to accept this or are you going to hold on to what we went through? Outside of it just being this one time,
So do
y'all haven't had any other, and it's okay for you to like slowly get back into it. It's not saying that you have to like immediately jump back into it, but you could you could communicate that. Hey, you know, I'm glad we're in this space. I'm glad you communicated. It may take time for me because that really hurt me, and it's okay. He may be like, you know what, I understand and I get it.
Which he was. I will say that in our conversation, there's two things that I noticed. One, he just sounds so emotionally distant. He don't even sound like the guy that I know, number one. But number two, I do think beyond that, it was really hard to hear him, for him to hear me cry. Because I was very tearful on the phone. So I do think that was hard for him. Because again, we've never had anything like this. So this was like very new for us. And to hear like, you know, I've heard the others to hurt her, but now I'm doing it, like, damn, you know, and you gotta eat that. And
I got a question.
mm-hmm.
Do you know any of his other friends that he's acting like this with?
No, I don't.
Like, do you just, like, is he not acting like this towards other friends, or you don't? Or you
I don't know.
Okay.
I know that he said to me
You
the
know his
only
other
thing.
friends?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay.
Friends. He said the only thing is like Aaliyah's not just you. Like he didn't make that point. Like even like said my sister who, because that's his only sibling, and like, the fact that she doesn't even know what's going on, only his mom knew. And I think it was one other person where he is. It's like of course you need somebody to kind of take care of you, so she knew. And then I'm the third person to know about the accident.
Okay.
So
I'm only asking that because I was trying to make it like a comparative thing where it's like, is he acting like this with just female friends?
I thought that. I thought it was
all
just me.
friends, if it's just a personal thing, or all of the friends, is it a difference between the guy friends and the girl friends? Or
Yeah.
But you said the sibling. You said his sister though. She didn't know a lot of shit either. So, I mean, it very well could just be him going through something. It just sucks that he gotta isolate himself like this. Like even I understand going through stuff and isolating yourself from people, but I don't do that and isolate myself from the people closest to me.
Yeah,
If
I just
anything-
like, this is so
If
different.
anything, I'll isolate myself from the world, and then the people closest to me kind of
Can
Oh,
rally
oh,
and
yeah.
right, but
I mean, that's me. You know, I can't say that's him.
it's not. But he's okay, like he was saying. Like at this point, he was kind of willing to, if it meant to let go of his loved ones, he cool with that. And I'm like,
No,
are
he's
you
not. No,
like
he's not.
what?
He's not.
He don't know what he's saying right now.
Yeah,
No,
he's just mentally.
Before
it's a
much
lot-
y'all
it's
that
a
we
lot
talk,
going
so
on.
that's different. I can't even. At one point, I could probably vouch, but now I don't know. I would have been confident to say that, but I'm really like I don't
Where's
know.
he
man.
live?
Washington State.
You might just need to pull up on him.
Fuck Washington State.
Yeah, that's what he went and enlisted, got stationed there, and kind of stayed there.
Wait, he got enlisted.
He enlisted, so I
Oh, okay.
got stationed there.
All right.
State.
So we have some newfound information here. You know, some folks that go into the army, they could also like, it's a lot that goes on between
He
them.
ain't
You know,
been in the army now. He been out for how many years now?
It's been a few years now. He's been on.
but you never really know what somebody could have suffered or anything that could really like have some type of trauma over time and just like develop.
He
You
wasn't.
never
He
really
wasn't
know.
clear about exactly what he just said. Life, whatever life is
Yeah.
in general, is getting him in this very, very.
In a
state.
lot-
And he said while he's doing better, he wasn't as bad as he was when we stopped talking. He's still not there.
And life can, like you said, life can be a lot. I mean, anything can really just have him in this funk. I mean, of course, you know, a woman that he loved, he lost her. You know, people were losing their lives every single day. I mean, anything can like really happen to where it has that kind of effect on you.
But knowing me, like how C said, you gotta know how much this deeply impacts me because I give a lot of F's. Like y'all know, I care and I care a lot. So to do this, knowing me,
And it's not to say that you, but here's the thing. It's not you giving up. It's allowing him to just go on his journey
that's what why that was about.
to figure it out. Like,
Because
you
part
don't
of me
have
wants
to-
to give up. I'm not gonna lie.
but the thing is that you're not giving up. Allow him to have that space. A lot of times, some folks really need that space. They need to figure things out on their own. And just because you're not talking to him doesn't mean you don't care.
And I know he knows that. And I
And you
into
could also you could journal how you feel. Act as though you know. And shout out to my therapist because she actually gave me this idea whenever how I'm feeling about something that I want to communicate to someone. Journal it out, and then when that time comes, you know, present it to them. And so you know, I'm a suggest this to you, you know, from the streets.
not from the books.
Yeah, you know.
Telling the therapist to journal.
Yeah,
Like I don't know his coping skills.
exactly. But have you been journaling?
No.
Exactly.
That's
So you
my
need.
issue. Is not see, but here's the thing. It's not about necessarily like me getting out my feelings. It's the fact that I'm confused with like part of me wants to say forget it. But the other part is like I care so much that I don't, and I'm being understanding of this space that he's in, and it's kind of like, all right, I'm gonna allow you to take your space, and I will be here when you're here. But that's so unfair to me.
I get it, and that's why I say journal it out because you can
I shouldn't give
express
up.
all those emotions. You're not always gonna be happy. So what you're feeling is sad, frustration. It's kind of like confusion. So write everything out. Hey, you know, what's his name? Chaz. You know, this is how I'm feeling. You know, on January 27th, whatever. Write all of that out. So when he comes around, you can communicate that. Like, here's a book. And this is how I've been feeling. This is what I've been going through.
Alright, that's how I'm gonna have to say forget it. And I know my deep.
Because we know you don't want to give up on it. Y'all been best friends for like the last 13 years. So it's not about giving up on him. It's just you have to.
I usually don't though. That's my problem. I usually don't give up when I should.
Yeah, but see,
That's my
but you're
problem.
and you're making it about you because y'all have that relationship. Y'all have that bond.
But I never
But-
make it about me.
But no, I'm not saying you're making it about you personally, but like your feelings are involved. But he's not giving up on you.
How do you know?
It's just mentally he is. Because you're not the only person he's giving up on. He hasn't even communicated with his sister. He's like, you're not the only person. So it's just kind of like, it's other people involved. So it's just kind of like you have to sit back when you feel emotional, when you feel like, you know, you receive good news and you want to communicate it to him, but you can't because y'all are not communicating.
Okay,
Jot
that's the
that down.
problem. It's not that we're not communicating. Since the conversation, I just need to get off the phone because I was so emotional.
Okay.
And we had talked since this was almost 2 weeks ago. Thursday make it 2 weeks. So it was like I just didn't know, like, do I reach out? Do I not? Kind of, you know what? Honestly, y'all, you know how I feel, I'm like, yo, what was the point of this conversation? You could just kept not talking to me.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, it's like you opened the wound was there, it was kind of closing up, because each month I was doing a little bit better. For you to come back to explain to me would give me very little clarity just to be gone again. So
It's a
what's the
teaser.
point of that, right? Like, in my thing, I'm thinking, are you reaching out now? You're finally in a space to talk, we're going to be good. For you to dip again, it's like, that's not cool. Like, you just can't pick and choose when you want, oh, now I think I'm going to talk to Leah. Now I think she needs to know what's going on, but I'm not really ready to talk to you, so bye. Like, that is corny to me. I don't like it. So that's why I'm like, you could have just saved that, and when you were ready, whenever I guess it was who knows, a year from now, you could have came back, and maybe I could have decided from there what I want to do. But to do this break, to come back to explain, just to really not explain nothing and dip to me,
He might got feelings for you.
that's
You want to suck your teeth, but you can also throw that possibility in there. I'm just saying,
well, rather.
coming from the streets.
I think that this nigga just got like.
Yeah, I don't think it's that.
I don't think he's ever went through anything like this before. And because he's never gone through nothing like this before, his
He's trying to
ass,
find his way.
like sometimes when people going through stuff they've never gone through before, they feel like however they choose to decide. I mean, they're well within their right to react how they want to react, but they also think that they're justified in the way that they react, however they choose to react. So if he's like, oh, I'm gonna push away everybody that's close to me, and I'm cool with that, and he's not even concerned with how y'all might feel about any of that. That's the thing. That's like one of them character things where he gotta look himself in the mirror at some point. At some point in life, this situation is going to be over, and life is going to go on, and he's gonna be all right, and he's gonna look back like, damn, now that I'm all right, all the people that was close to me want him back, and they might not accept him back because he fucked that up and he was going through something. And a simple communication of like, yeah, I'm going through whatever. I don't mean to, be like this, but I might, this is how I feel, whatever, and then y'all can choose from that to, if y'all want to reach out and help or say whatever y'all want to him, whether he responds, as long as he's he could have chosen a much better way to communicate. So,
First of all, you could have did this back in August. That was my first gripe that I had. Like, all of what you told me December, you could have said August. So at least I would have kind of had some idea, rather than you going 4 months and then you dropping this name
come back and don't even say nothing for real.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You came back to kind of really say nothing to go back out. Like, what the...
But it probably wouldn't have went the way it went in December.
That is true, because he said he was in a very not great place, so you're right about that.
So imagine him saying, imagine him saying things that that's out of the order, that's not normal, right? He just says things to hurt you.
What she was doing.
That could.
Why would you do that? Like, why? Like, I don't.
A lot of people say certain things that they don't mean, but it's frustration. It's however they're emotionally feeling is not geared towards you, but because you're right there, you're kind of like that punching bag. You're available, and because you keep trying to figure me out and I don't want to be figured out right now, I'm just gonna, take time to, it sucks.
It does suck, because that feels like, just kind of over being people's punching bag. I'm too good to people to be treated like that.
That's what
if I wasn't that down friend or that down girlfriend or that person, like, okay, but the way that I ride for people, for me, this is trauma. Like, it makes me feel like, I'm tired of riding for people. They don't ride for me the same way, because at the end of the day, I know people deal with things differently, but I would have never did this. And I told him that, like, it's messed up. I never did this to you. So it's like you kind of you fell from grace for me a little bit. And when you do for me, it's a little hard to kind of climb back up for me, because now, I look at you a little different.
Shit happens. Sometimes, just like he's well within his right to react how he wants to you. And even in, stormy situations, if he's going through what he's going through, he's bringing that destruction elsewhere in places where it don't belong.
Yeah.
And that's not that's not a thing that's supposed to just be accepted just because he's going through something. Like he even if he's okay with it, he's not.
Yeah.
He can say he's okay with it, Time will show that he's not okay with it.
Facts.
And then
The same
in that-
way you're battling, he's battling as
That's
well.
what I'm saying. Like it's not gonna in the future. It's not gonna end up turning out the way that he thought it would. Like, he's not as okay with it as he thinks. But sometimes people gotta learn shit the hard way.
I agree.
And
Which is unfortunate.
yeah, I know that all too well.
And
Sometimes
unfortunately, you do lose people. You know, people think
Listen,
like
man.
once you get it, like I can get that person back.
Listen.
You may not.
the most important thing here is him learning his lesson, not him holding on to these friendships and relationships that he's ruining in the process.
Mm-hmm.
Because if he don't learn the lesson, even if he don't learn the lesson, he gonna end up lonely, alone with nobody that's going forever. And he's gonna say he's okay with it until a point comes in his life where the shit that he's going through, he's not gonna care about it anymore. And he's gonna realize he has nobody.
Mm-hmm.
So again.
So for me, I just stay on the sideline. Do I reach out?
Do you want to reach out?
Yeah.
If you don't want to reach out, don't. No. If you don't want to reach out, don't reach out.
We all know you. You want to reach out.
Because say
I mean, even if you reach out one more time because you want to reach out, you might get the same response. You might get the same response. If you want to reach out one more time,
that's there you go. See,
might
that's
get the
what
same
I'm worried about. That's the set. I
So
don't
no way
want
to
to
find
keep
out.
getting this rejection. I'm good because I'm good. After this trauma you caused me, I'm a little scared. So I'm like, maybe I just need to just chill. Cause
Or what you
find
or
out.
what you can do is, instead of just like checking in to see how he's doing, just start sending him random, words of affirmation that might be able to help him out.
where's my affirmation? That where he had on my side when I need it? Because illegal, you know what it is. I'm there for people all the time, but I need that too.
Yeah, you
feel
know
me?
what? And for him, if this is a first time experience,
Therapists gotta be in people.
yeah, for him, he's probably realizing, like, he's probably not thinking about you,
He
not
said that.
going through anything.
He said he wasn't thinking about me at all. Like it was like fleeting thoughts, but he was just in space. He wasn't thinking about nothing.
Yeah,
No,
and you're not the only
No, I'm
person.
not personalizing it. I'm
Like,
not personalizing it, y'all.
But you
I'm
kind of
just saying.
are.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, I'm saying because I'm not personalizing. I know there's like that other people, but this is still just affecting me. So I'm just talking from my perspective.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I can't speak from his sister or his other friends. I can only speak from me. So I'm just telling y'all like how it affected me and our friendship.
Which
That's
is
all I can
understandable.
say.
Yeah, which is understandable, but also at the same time, like, again, like we've been saying, he has to go through what he's going through.
So what I hear you
On
saying,
his
I'm
own.
gonna be the therapist right now. What I hear you saying is I should not get, or y'all saying I shouldn't give up, and I should just kind of wait.
I didn't say that.
I said,
Okay,
I didn't say
Okay,
wait.
bad.
not wait, but like
But,
just
Like,
be
don't
here.
give up on the friendship, but you don't have to keep being the first one to reach out. Now, if it's something to where you like he's mentally just going through something, and you come across a daily affirmation that might be suitable for him because of what he's going through, feel free to send. Just send it to him. You don't even have to say anything. You can just send it to him, right? Do that. If he loves it or likes it, whatever. That's it.
Then you
No
don't
words.
piss me off, like,
No
okay.
words have to be exchanged, but if it's in your heart and you see something and just want to genuinely send it to him, cool.
It's not that I don't want to do these things. I just don't. I'm worried about. I'm doing these things with
For nothing.
nothing. It's like
Mhm.
So what I was gonna say.
since I clearly
I mean-
not say what you said.
No, because I'm saying like you said, don't give up on it. I'm saying if your reaction to it, if it's affecting you that much, I wouldn't say don't give up on it. There's two different ways giving up on it looks.
Okay.
One way is fuck you. I'm out.
Yeah.
The other way is just like I understand you going through something, and I really hope you get through it. But the consequences of what you're going through and how you are taking it out on the people around you is affecting me too greatly for me to.
I
Still
said that
be
to
there.
him. I said it to him. I said, I understand what you're going through, and while I want to be here to support you, it's not that I'm
Yeah.
not. But
Yeah.
this emotionally impacts me, and this is not good for my mental.
Right.
And you know that because you know me. So I
And
kind
so
of have
in
to
that-
take a
In that case,
fall back.
fall back
All right. So I just kind of want to see where
Yeah.
I was and what I'm doing is.
because it's out of your hands. He knows that.
No,
Especially
it's falling
if
back me and not reach
if he
out at all,
concur.
or just hey, how are you?
if you so choose to do so in your
if
heart,
you
then
want
you can. But like you stated to him, like, this is affecting me in a way and I can't. And he understood that, right?
He did.
And to that
Got
point, it's just like if ever there comes a time if he wants to reach back out, you can open your heart if you choose to, or you can just still be like, man, I don't want to go through that or whatever, depending on where you are in your own space or whatever. And you can even welcome. I'm glad you went through it, and I'm glad you're okay now. But
That's what it was supposed to be. So I thought that.
I mean, it could still be that in the future. We don't know.
Or the times that you feel like you want to reach out to him.
I'm just saying for right now.
Yeah.
Keep it okay.
Or the times that you feel like you want to reach out to him, journal it. Act as if you're actually talking to him. What would you say to him in that given moment? Write it out.
I mean, you know, the good thing is I can say that I'm not angry like I was then, but it definitely made me, like I said, it's opened up again, like this conversation, and I'm kind of like just, I don't know. I'm just like, but I hear y'all, and I feel like the best thing is what you said. Is just what I've been doing is just kind of like falling back. He understands that, and if I feel the need to reach out,
There you go.
then I'll reach out. And then if he doesn't, I mean, I was already used to us not talking at this point, so I'm kind of just like, cause like you said, I can't force it.
And you don't want to create any more opportunity for more trauma for you to go through.
Absolutely.
Because like I said,
That was rough.
you could reach out to him and have the same exact conversation and be like, God damn it, I did it again.
And I'm like, and I knew that was a
Wind down
possibility.
part 2.
Right? Like, oh guys, here you go. Like, so that's just, it is really unfortunate because when you have a beautiful friendship with someone, whatever, you just ruin it. I feel like for no apparent reason. It just sucks. Because some things, like I said, you can't, it just won't be the same. That's kind of how I feel. I told him one of my biggest fears. I don't feel like our friendship would be what it was, and I don't know. It's just, it sucks. But I'm better. 2 weeks ago, I was not okay 2 weeks ago, but you know, the sun rises and sets each day, so you just gotta move on with life. So
For sure.
yeah. Have y'all had any situation like this? Like friends just be cutting you off for no reason? And then you just kind of had to just sit with it or not.
No, it was one friendship I went through like that. They just needed time, and we ended up talking about it. But
Things are different.
no, you know, got back to normal. Sometimes you just gotta understand certain people.
When
Yeah.
you know, see, this sounds like for you may have was kind of aware of what this individual was like. This is so brand new for me, so this was like I'm blindsided by
Nah, but the thing is, it's just kind of like I didn't know what was really going on, but then I kind of knew. But then it was just like you can still communicate, whether we agree to disagree or not. But it's just kind of like we're better than that. But again, after learning, sometimes like you gotta know who people are. And certain topic of discussions are just going to be very tricky for people, and we just gotta let it be. I know, I kind of just know how like certain people are, and I just understand, and that's just them. You just gotta accept them for who they are, and just carry things a little bit differently.
I be getting myself. I feel like I'm too loving and I'm too forgiving, and it always bites me in the butt. But I hear y'all. I'll just.
Like that guy wanted to bite your butt for the New Year.
He did, but we.
His year crazy.
Golly, but he made sure he said his New Year's resolution. Good Lord.
Oh,
But
man.
I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, streets.
The streets.
That's what we do.
And hopefully with future wind downs, I don't mind putting myself out there with certain situations, but y'all don't be afraid. If I have something I'm going through, bring it to the table. Bring it to the wind down. For anybody else, and drop it, like I said, in the comments, so if you guys have
Hell
something
yeah.
that y'all need some like advice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, where can they drop it?
That's what we here for.
Where can they go to drop their submissions?
You know,
Should they need it?
Just drop it on the In The Mix Instagram if you want to go into the DMs.
This is anonymous too, guys. So
Yeah, definitely. Or if you want to send us an email, it's radioshow@gmail.com. Yeah. And you can remain anonymous, and we'll just read it off. Again, you can also follow us at In The Mix Radio on IG. You can send it to us there. And
Get your favorite beverage.
yeah, hell yeah.
Facebook. Oh yeah, on
Facebook.
Facebook. Yes.
Facebook.
On the book.
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Leah's on the book. Baby.
She gonna be right there. She gonna like it first.
Yup. Hell yeah. If you feel more comfortable sending it to the to the therapist, or if you want to send it to the streets, we got y'all. We're open, available. Street University is 24/7. This is what we do. I can't speak for others, and certified over here.
Yo, I'm so annoyed on why I go. This is actually a favorite segment though, but
We got more accreditation than her university. So
I'm just saying, we out here rocking. Anywho,
Alright, well, that was a while now, guys. Thank you.
That was a
And
while.
I'll give you guys an update. I'm sure it probably won't be till another 7 months. Who knows? I don't know.
yeah, keep us in the mix, man. But it's the Streets University again. I am just for this week, Dr. Quantrell with 1 L. Next one down, I'll be back to Ike Love because I rose dolo from state to state. And my good brother,
it's so Esteban.
Hey, girl, Leah, aka the therapist.
yo man, listen man, this was episode 110, y'all. Again, we appreciate the subscriptions. Continue to send to your friends, your family. Let them know to get in the mix. Subscribe. We appreciate you guys. And until next time, y'all, it's your big dog kid, 6 Shot Town's finest, Carlton, your dig, and your girl Leah, aka the therapist. Always behind the scenes, your girl so effing classy, aka so effing crafty, aka so effing glassy. Until next time.
And the mix, Carlton Lee again.